Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass have already proven their incompetence and poor leadership during the Los Angeles wildfires. Now, as we experience rampant lawlessness and civil unrest, it's never been more clear.
Tyrus.
What I saw.
Yeah.
What it looked to me like he was negotiating with a deaf prostitute.
Imagine this. Mel Gibson walks in looking like he just walked out of the governor's version of Mad Max. Tyrus, who shows up straight out of a WWE SmackDown, relentlessly pursues poor Gavin Newsom, who ends up becoming the unwelcome focal point of a roast. Furthermore, he is not the only one criticizing him. Others joined in, thereby sending an epic Dear John letter. Politics has never been this way before, so get ready. A harsh dose of reality collides with the craziness of Hollywood.
Turmoil. And I asked my fellow Angelinos, why are Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass still in office? How much more of their destructive decision-making masquerading as leadership are we going to tolerate? It's time to take back our community and our state and put the power and the privilege in the hands of competent leaders whose goals are to protect us and the way of life this nation.
Before we get started, please click the like button and subscribe, because you know you don't want to miss this. Mel Gibson has never been one to sit quietly in a corner. No, he storms in, bangs doors, turns tables, says the tea is tainted, and gives you a gaze that goes right to your heart. There are no priests, swords, or battle paint in his most recent chaotic film. Instead, the real-life Gavin Newsom walking shampoo commercial deserves the distinction.
You can watch the tape.
Yes!
He literally goes, I want some of this, then you do some of this, and I'll do some of that back to you, and then we'll do this, and then I'll pay you, and then we'll do it again.
True.
And then she kept saying, no. Okay, how about this? You do this one first, then we do this one, then we give a little back and forth.
Indeed, the governor of California, who appears to have been carved out of marble by an artist equipped only with hair gel and a sense of self-worth, is now embroiled in a conspiracy that even Hollywood couldn't have planned. He's the type of guy that could sit on a chair and fold it in two, but his presence is as unyielding as a refrigerator. Tyrus is the anvil if Gibson is the chaos grenade. They collaborate to create a tag team that does more than simply criticize Newsom. They use him as a character in their own political soap opera. You've made a mistake when your harshest critics aren't other politicians but a Hollywood icon and a former professional wrestler who is now a pundit, someone who doesn't seem to care about nonsense.
Did he leave out anything? I think there's about 100 other reasons too.
Well, it's not his words when he speaks.
Yeah.
You have to watch him closely. And some genius decided not to film him any lower than the shoulder.
Yes, did you? Yes.
So what did he do?
You couldn't see the hands.
No, but he sent more.
Why is Newsom in the hot seat? It's easy. He manages California like if it were an expensive amusement park, complete with locked gates and broken rides. Yet the parking is still $50. Instead of dealing with the issues, he is occupied with making his smile look like a trophy. Evidently tired of this circus, Tyrus and Mel produced a complete eclipse rather than only shadows.
Gavin Newsom and LA Mayor Karen Bass, well, they were also suggesting that LA was under control. They had it covered while, of course, LA was essentially burning. And they've been blaming Donald Trump for all the chaos in LA, while Gavin Newsom has been trying to emerge as the strong leader of the Democrats as he eyes off the presidency in 3 years' time. But actor Mel Gibson has spoken out, blasting the governor and the mayor, rightfully so, for their disastrous leadership.
Mel Gibson has a unique viewpoint. He has seen firsthand how readily charlatans take advantage of earnestness to advance in Hollywood over the years. With his state looking like the set of a dystopian Netflix movie, Newsom's attempt to portray himself as the crown prince of progressive politics feels more phony than anything else. Gibson must be thinking, I've played villains less cartoonish than this guy. Gibson attacks with precise accuracy, while Tyrus rips through Newsom like a caustic freight train. But the larger picture is at play here, not just political gaffes. Throughout the day, Newsom, whose hair is as shiny as an oil spill, walks around like a prospective presidential candidate, rehearsing his serious leader character in front of the mirror like he's trying out for a soap opera. In the meantime, Starbucks vies for prominent locations close to tent encampments in California, where deodorant is now kept in glass cases at pharmacies. This turmoil is nothing compared to Gotham without Batman. Mel Gibson has finally had enough for this.
Yeah.
He's negotiating with the deaf prostitute.
Yeah.
Let's just stick with that.
Yeah. More likely.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people have been coming out and calling out Gavin Newsom endlessly, and the biggest one of all is Mel Gibson. We all know that he is a very big, open critic of Gavin Newsom, and he continues to actually do that, and rightfully so, because we already know that there's a lot of issues going on right now within the state of California.
Tyrus grins, Gibson cuts deep, and Newsom looks like a dethroned prom king. Together, they turn critique into the roast of the century, a Hollywood star and a wrestler exposing his act as meme-worthy. Gibson's blows land like blockbuster punches, while Tyrus adds comic body slams. The result? Newsom, once chasing the spotlight, is humiliated in the very arena he hoped to dominate.
Lost his house in these wildfires. And what you just saw there was an effort to recall the governor and Mayor Bass. Does his star power in this matter?
It matters in the sense we're playing it now on national television on a highly rated Fox and Friends First show, and that has gone viral on social media. And meanwhile, the same day that Mel Gibson says what he says there, and he's correct on so many things as far as the management of wildfires, Gavin Newsom's approval on the handling of the wildfires is only 30%.
Tyrus and Gibson turned Newsom into the butt of their roast, less Darth Vader and more Scooby-Doo villain. Once the mask came off, he wasn't menacing, just a con man politician fumbling through a bad audition for the presidency. Instead of solving problems, he preens for cameras, hair gel in place, while California potholes multiply like rabbits. Gibson calls it parody. Tyrus dubs it a hair gel catastrophe. Together, they tear at Newsom's polished facade like a pit bull with a chew toy, shredding his dignity with every bite.
Watch it. Look at the blinking. Blink. Look. Meet me at the house. Like, he's blinking. He's sending. I'm getting there. Hey, just so you know, I'm not wearing pants.
Ew.
And then, look, he's blinking. And then eventually, the camera guy realizing that he's signaling him, so he gets appalled, leans back, camera comes down, and then we're back to this. I'll do this for you. You do this for me a little. So he's saying whatever he's going to say. There it is. See? They couldn't hold him back. He's like, I'm not on film. Oh, I'm not. Nope.
What makes it funnier is that Newsom thought he'd be untouchable. Politicians expect rivals or late-night hosts, not a tag team roast from Tyrus and Gibson. One blunt, one explosive. They point out the absurdity of acting like president while California crumbles into the collapse. A theme park of dysfunction where homelessness is free admission, and the only working ride leads out of state. Gibson knows a flop when he sees one, and Newsom's highlight reel is rolling blackouts, soaring rents, and rising crime, all hidden behind perfect hair. The roast lands hardest when Tyrus cuts through the arrogance, leaving Gibson laughing at the spectacle, a man polishing his strands while the state disintegrates around him.
Well, speaking of full of isn't it? I'm sorry, I'm confused. He's still governor, right?
Yes.
So he could do something about it. That's the most irritating thing, is like, why did anyone say with a follow-up where he's like, the homeless situation is ridiculous? Follow-up question, aren't you governor?
Yeah.
Like, that's the difference. That's the difference between the radical left and President Trump. He'll talk about something.
Once reduced to a punchline, all Newsom has left is the illusion of control, slick hair and polished speeches masking hollow substance. From afar, he looks like a designer handbag, stylish outside, fragile inside. But when Mel Gibson unloads and Tyrus piles on with biting irony, that facade collapses into a cheap stage prop. Their timing is perfect, turning his presidential rehearsal into a blooper reel, leaving him as the joke instead of the leading man.
How much more of their destructive decision-making masquerading as leadership are we going to tolerate? It's time to take back our community and our state and put the power and the privilege in the hands of competent leaders whose goals are to protect us and the way of life this nation was founded upon and promises to offer. That's all.
Tyrus and Gibson didn't just mock Newsom. They dismantled his mystique. With humor and sharp timing, they exposed him as more illusion than leader, pointing out that a polished smile and pricey hair gel can't mask delusion. Gibson, with his Hollywood instincts, spotted the script instantly, calling Newsom's campaign image shallow enough to be laughable. Tyrus went further, treating his presidential ambitions as a farce, crushing them with blunt takedowns, and reminding everyone that style without substance collapses fast.
He's playing with us. Meet me at my house. You get mine. I get yours. It'll work out.
Paul, Are they capable of soul searching? It feels like the party itself has no soul.
Yeah, I know, they have no soul. You know, it's a really interesting statement. If you just kind of, you can break it in two. He spends the whole first part of that saying, we lost because this. Essentially what he says is, folks, we were on the wrong side of every issue last year.
Newsom's record, meanwhile, reads like California's worst mistakes: homelessness rising, scandals mounting, and a refusal to face criticism. Instead, he leans on polish as if glitter could fix a failing grade. Gibson slices through the act, while Tyrus ridicules it as something even talent show contestants would mock. On the debate stage, Newsom looks less like a contender and more like a supporting actor trying to outshine the lead. The duo's relentless jabs turn his shake and smile act into a nightmare he can't escape. If he engages, he loses. If he ignores them, the roast only grows louder.